12 says, in another instance, it says, now she is in the streets, now in the squares, and lurking at every corner. And these weeds be everywhere. It's like you cannot get rid of them. It's like once you start pulling, and this is a crazy thing, once you start pulling them up, like this, I pull out, I'm about to be finished, and it go like, and it's like it goes this way. And it's so funny because when I went to Lowe's and I was asking the guy about how am I supposed to plant, I had some pansies. Somebody come real quick. No matter. And so these are some pansies. I didn't need them anymore, but for some reason I just kept them. So he said, when you get the pansies, see that right there? Guess what he told me? He said, first what you gotta do is you gotta break it off.
Oh, okay.
And do like that. So that the roots go this way. The roots have to spread this way so that they can attach in the proper places when it's time for them to be planted. So you can't just put that down in there, because if you put them down in it, you put it down there like that and then don't take that off, the roots have nowhere to attach to. So guess what? In our lives, there are times and in seasons where guess what we do? Seeds are planted, and we plant seeds in different places, and we plant them the wrong way. And guess what? Even if they are planted the right way and they not the right seeds, they attach in the right places, and you cannot get rid of them. And when I say they attach in the right places, I mean they attach in your heart, they attach in your mind, and they attach in all those places. And it's going to take a long time, and it's going to take a lot to get those roots cut. It's going to take a really long time. So this is how he said you're supposed to plant. So you got your crabgrass and it's lurking. You got the enemies lurking in the season. So you got to know when the right season, and you got to be praying. You got to stay in the right position. It says, Psalms 5:8 says, be alert and sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. So he's always looking to devour us. He's always looking for an end. He's always looking for a place. But if we're in the right position, and guess what? In order to when you're in the right position, you cannot be afraid to get dirty. Right. I wasn't afraid to get dirty when I was getting ready to plant. I can't be prissy talking about, I don't know if I want to touch. I don't know if I want to, I did have gloves on because I didn't want, it to get in my nails, but you gonna get dirty. Right. So guess what? When you're in the right position and you're in prayer and you're in warfare and you're interceding, guess what? You gonna get dirty. You gonna have to go to some places with the enemy, and you're gonna have to fight, and you're gonna have to get dirty. But guess what? If you got on the right clothes, you got on your full armor of God, guess what? You're going to be good. You're going to be good. And when you come up out of there, you ain't going to have to worry about, oh God, I got dirty and I got this on me, because you got on the full armor of God. You got on his full armor. And so this is another thing that blew my mind. So when I was reading this, it's a guy, his name is Hanson, and he started talking about, the psychological thing of planting flowers in your mind and all these different things. And so Miss Darlene would probably be thinking about stuff like this. But it was talking about, it says, become aware of and familiar with our unusual suspects, which is the enemy, okay, which is the crabgrass, the weeds, or the reoccurring thoughts that cause upsets and problems for us. Okay, be aware. Listen, there are certain times and seasons in your life where the same thing happens over and over and over again in your life. But when are you going to get to the point where you recognize that cycle and you're going to say, oh, I see it coming. I'm going to cut it off right now. It says, to continue with the garden analogy, you have to find the root of the weed. In order for the weeds to come up, you got to pluck up the root. You can't just say, oh, I'm just going to cut them weeds off top, because guess what? You cut the weeds off top, the root is still there. Some more weeds is going to grow. Some more weeds are going to grow. Once you do, you need to infuse positive material, positive people in your life, positive thoughts in your head, the weed killer, which is Jesus Christ. You need to do that with the weeds that are in your life. Let's see. This is something else. It said methods vary according to the growth habit of the weeds. We have so many habits. We grow in so many different ways. Like I was saying before, I'm 36 years old. There are so many habits that I have and still have in my life. But if you can't be honest with yourself and say, you know what, I got these habits. I do this all the time and it needs to be changed. Then guess what? When the habits come, the people that come in your life and the situations that come, and there's still the habitual things, you're not going to be able to recognize them. And you're not going to be able to get in position and pray so that those weeds can be plucked up from the root and not just from the surface. Let's see. And it says weeds can be categorized by their life habit. To me, when I think about a life habit, I think about the fruit of our life. Your habits produce fruit. Mm-hmm. And so if I know that if I continue to keep eating Little Debbie cakes,
amen.
Honey buns and Skittles, if I continue that habit, what's the fruit of my life?
You turn to Big Deborah. Juicy.
Big Deborah, Big Dee, or not even that. Guess what else? High cholesterol, diabetes. All the high blood pressure, so many different, high cholesterol, all these different things come from the different habits you have in your life. And it says also, this is so good right here. It says perennial weeds regrow from previously established roots. Y'all, previously established roots mean people in your life, things that you did before that you didn't let get plucked up by the root. Guess what they do? They previously reestablished roots. The weeds are going to regrow. Like I said, if you don't get them from the root, guess what they're going to do? They're going to regrow. Or guess what it says? Dormant. Guess what? They're going to lie dormant. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to lie there until whatever situation comes, whatever person comes. And I'm just going to say this, which is how I just heard it. Women that are unmarried or men that are unmarried, you've been good for a long time. You've been good. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Women and men. Ooh, you've been good for a long time. Then that right one come walking by either. What's up? Yes. Or either you get that one that come by.
Come on with it.
Oh, look at that right there. Oh, I see that. Look at her. She's stepping in them heels. Or, oh, look at his swag. He looking good. And guess what? All of it was dormant, but now, ooh, that flesh done said, bing. Listen, your mind started going like, oh, Lord. Your eyes started looking every which way. You start shaking. Ooh, ooh. Like when Marquita eats, she go,
Oh, yes.
It be good. You getting a real good look. Everything was dormant in your life until guess what? That flesh got a little aroused. But are you willing to get in the position of prayer? Are you willing to arrest the thoughts? Are you willing to say, you know what? Okay, I see this crabgrass. I see this crabgrass lurking. God, you got to keep me. Because if you want to be kept, he'll keep you.
That's right.
Want to do it?
Okay, if you want to be kept, he'll keep you. And I'll share something with y'all. And I've shared before about my testimony about before I met my husband and God speaking to me and telling me not to be intimate no more with anybody until I got married. But I'm going to share this one with you as well. My husband got deployed and he was in Afghanistan for like, how long they be going?
A year.
Like almost a year. Okay, that's a long time. And I'm married.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's a long time that my husband is away from me.
Right.
You know what I mean, married folk? And even if you unmarried, you know what that means? That was a long time. But I went to my bishop one day and his wife. I went to Bishop Pastor Nate and I was like, okay, I think something wrong with me. And it was like, what? I was like, because, and I'm gonna be straight up, and I shared this in the testimony on Facebook, the interview that I did. When I was in the world before I got married, when I was unmarried, I used to indulge in self-pleasure. Okay, I'm just saying like that because you understand what I'm saying. We being, Okay, so it was very hard. But when I got married, I was like, okay. I went to them, I said, is something wrong with me because I didn't want to indulge in that? And I wasn't like, of course I missed my husband, but I was like, I'm not over here like, oh God, please hurry up, come home. Of course I wanted him to come home, but it wasn't like I wasn't, my body, myself, I wasn't yearning for the intimacy in that aspect. I wasn't. And I asked them, I said, is something wrong with me? And they were like, no. They were like, you're really focused on your relationship with God. You've asked God to keep you and keep you in the right frame of mind. So I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen that are married, that are unmarried, God will keep you if you want to be kept. Yes. He definitely will. And I'm not just talking about intimacy. I'm talking about he'll keep you from gossiping if you want to be kept. He'll keep you from not being lazy. He'll keep you from eating the stuff you ain't supposed to eat. He'll keep you from drinking. He'll keep you from alcohol. He'll keep you from weed. He'll keep you from cocaine, cigarettes, nicotine. He'll keep you from all of that if you want to be kept. But you just got to ask him to keep you, and you got to be real about it.
Right.
I'm just being real. Y'all know I ain't going to beat around the bush.
That's right. Good.
But what I wrote was different people in different situations seem to surface around the same seasons.
Right.
Take notice so that you can control the weeds before they get out of control. Let God control those weeds before they get out of control. Some people or situations are lying dormant, just waiting for the right season. They know when the right time to come up on you. They know, oh, you just broke up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Let me pop up on you. Hey, that used to happen to me. Hey, what's up? Not answering that. Right situation and the right opportunity. Yeah. Block that phone you call. Why is you popping up in my house? I'm not answering the door. Okay? Well, oh, we want to go out? Oh, girls, let's go out. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going out. Oh, we going out. You ain't had a sip in a long time. Hey, girl, just take a little bit of wine. Okay. Next thing you know, next week hey, girl.
Popping bottles.
Pop everything. Or your friend called. Hello, hey girl. Girl, let me tell you what Susie did the other day. Girl, she was doing this gossiping. Oh, for real? Ooh. Instead of, hey girl, let me tell you what Susie did. Listen, I ain't got time to hear that. I don't even want to hear that. If you're going to come at me talk about something negative like that, you can go and get off my phone right now.
That's
So we changing the subject. You want to change the subject? That's real. Because it knows when to come in and knows when to come and creep in your mind. Understanding the habits of weeds is also important. And such things as plowing, surfacing, the promotion for beneficial cover crops, and the prevention of seed accumulations in the field. So this is just some different stuff that it was talking about. Matthew 13 through 24. This is the parable. Everybody knows about the parable with the seeds. It says, the kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in the field. While everyone was sleeping, his enemy came and sowed seeds among the wheat and went away. When the wheat sprouted and formed heads, then weeds also appeared. The owner's servants came to him and said, Sir, didn't you sow good seed in the field? Where then did the weeds come from? An enemy did this, he replied. The servants asked him, Do you want us to go and pull them up? No, he answered, because while you are pulling up weeds, you may uproot the wheat with them. Let them both grow together until the harvest. At that time, I will tell the harvesters to first collect the weeds and tie them in a bundle and burn them, then gather the wheat and bring it to my barn. So let Jesus Christ, let the Holy Spirit within you lead you to when you need to pluck them weeds up. And guess what? It's about time to pluck them up. It's about time to pluck up those weeds. Something that I was thinking about today, this is so funny. So around, it was Thanksgiving. I think we did a Thanksgiving dinner for the church. And so my husband was frying turkeys. So my husband decides that he wants to fry turkeys. Britton, you better sit down. Sit down. Exactly. My husband said he was going to, I think he fried like 2 or 3 turkeys for the little Thanksgiving thing. Well, he's outside and Mr. Gio came over because Mr. Gio wanted to learn how to fry turkey. So Mr. Gio was there, my husband was there, and then Britt and little Gio outside. So my husband said, Britton, Gio, listen, y'all stay on this side and y'all can play. Do not come nowhere over here. And of course, my husband didn't leave them outside by themselves. My son decides he wants to go in his toy box and get something. My husband said, dude, chill. Well, he decides that he still want to go in the toy box and get something. Well, when he goes to pull and get something out the toy box, he did like this and knocked over the grease. And I had just planted my nice little Japanese little tree.
Ate it up. Nom, nom, nom.
Yes, the Japanese pencil. Yes, you know what it is. And so today, when I was outside and I was gathering everything up, I said, and it was still in there because my husband ain't taking it up yet. But at first I was like, oh, this thing is gonna last. So you know the scripture where it talks about a farmer went out to sow seeds. As he was scattering the seeds, some fell along the paths, and the birds came and ate it up. Okay, guess what? You sow seeds, you got people in your life, they come and they drain you, they got problems, or you let people come and drain you, get you off track and get distracted, and every seed that was planted that was good, it ain't there no more. He was scattering the seeds, some fell along the path, and the birds came up and ate it. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. Listen, you guys know that when you get ready to plant, you gotta have some good soil. And most of the time, what do? We go and get some manure. We go and get some of that good manure that got some. Now this one doesn't smell. It doesn't smell. But you go and get some of that good manure. And you got to put this around the plants. And you got certain manure that you got for trees and bushes and all kinds of different things. Mr. Armand know about all that. He good with all that. But it said some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly, but because the soil was shallow, but when the sun came, the plants were scorched and they withered because they had no root. It made me think about this. That hot oil scorched this thing. Look at this. Look at it. It's dead. Dry. It's dry. It has no greenery. It has no life to it. And I thought about that this morning. I was just like, wow, there's so many different things in our life. We let things come and just scorch up everything in our life. No fresh breath of fresh air. There's no fruit there. It don't look good and it don't look clean. So I thought about how that oil just really scorched this tree. It's not even the tree, like the other one that I planted is nice and green, but this one was all messed up because guess what? It was scorched and the soil is no good anymore. The soil isn't even good anymore. And so guess what? Once the soil ain't good, if you ain't got no good soil, what is it going to do? It's going to cut off nutrients, it's going to cut off supply, and all this up here is going to die. Everything is going to die because where do plants or wherever get their nutrients from? In the soil. In the soil, that's where the nutrients are. So I'm finished. I just wanted to let everybody know what God said about the different weeds in our life and about planting. We got to be in the right positions, y'all. If we're not going to get in the right positions, then we don't want to see fruit in our lives. We really got to get in the right position so that we can attach properly to the right places. Because, like I said, when I was planting this, I was like, because I just was going to take these and I was just going to put them down and I was just going to dig a little hole and I was just going to put